We be working all day long to push us money. We ain't playing no games. Sabatabi, Gani.
Good day, everyone. I hope you are good. Welcome to the first lesson on our YouTube channel. Breathe in, breathe out. Maths is good. So, in this chapter, actually, this is for we are going to stick more in grade 11, in grade 12. This year, you will learn some new trigonometric identities. You will have to be familiar with all the content you have learned in grade 11. For example, you'll learn about a reduction. So I'm not going to explain this, but you are going to need this one, the reductions, whenever you are applying whenever we are working with the simplifications, whenever we are working with the general solutions, you are going to need your reduction. So you know that you can some other learners, they use cast. You can use all signs, or you can use all stations to Cape Town. You can use all students take care. You need to remember your cast diagram, guys, and you have to remember also your identities. You are going to need your identities whenever we're working with this simplification, or whenever we're working with proving identities. So you remember your quotient rule, which is sine over cos, your quotient identity, sine over cos, which is equal to tan. And remember your square identity, which is sine squared plus cos squared is equals to 1, which is we can also derive that sine squared theta is equal to 1 minus cos squared theta. Also, cos squared theta equals to 1 minus sine squared. You have to remember this. So you have to remember also your special angles. 30, 45, 60, and also the other special angles, but we are using 30, 45, and 60 degrees. And this diagram we did in grade 10. We are going to explain more about this whenever we're doing a grade 11 trigonometry specifically. So you have to remember also your negative angles. Sine into a negative angle will give us positive sign. I mean negative sign, sorry. Suppose there's a mistake here. Negative sign. Then cos into a negative angle will give us positive cos, because negative angle is on which quadrant? Fourth quadrant. Tan into a negative angle will give us negative tan. And don't forget also, guys, your co-function or co-ratios. Whenever we see 90 degrees, remember from your reduction diagram, these are your co-functions. But we are not using 270. We are using 90 degrees. Wherever we see sine, sine changes to become cos, cos changes to become sine, whenever we see co-functions. So, cos 90 changes to be sine, cos 90 changes to be sine, and the sine 90 changes to be cos. But you have to consider, where do we find this angle? Using your reduction. Okay? So then, we go to compound angles with this chapter that you are going to learn here in grade 12. Remember, guys, let me explain here. Compound angles. What are compound angles? I mean, a compound angle is an angle formed by adding or subtracting two angles. For example, if I say A plus B, these are my compound angles. I'm adding the two angles. If I say X plus 20, this is also your compound angle, because you are adding the two angles. If I say 2A plus this one, these are compound angle. Even if you can say A minus B, these are compound angles, because we are subtracting the two angles. But in this case, guys, we have a compound angle of sine and a compound angle of cos. Remember, this one, there's no need for you to memorize these formulas. You have to know how to use them and how do you see them. Here we have sine A plus B. We see the two angles here, they are being added, so which means that this is your compound angle. If I expand the compound angle of sine, it starts by saying sine, the first angle, times cos, the second angle. Then sine keeps the sign. So we have plus, then we start again, say cos, the first angle, times sine the second angle. So that's why we have sine A cos B plus cos A sine B. So even if we have A minus B, we are going to use the same thing. But sine, guys, keeps the sign. So it's going to be sine A cos B cos A sine B. So if I'm taking the example for sine, if let's say we have sine, let's say minus x minus 10. Do you understand? So I'm going to consider your minus x as my A, my minus 10 as my B. So if I expand this one, I'm going to have sine. Remember, I was going to have A. So in this case, your A is minus x. Then I was going to have B. So cos B, which is in this case minus 10. Understand? So sine, guys, keeps the sign. Understand? So it's going to be minus minus what? Minus cos into minus x times sine minus 10. But if you want to make this one, guys, you can rearrange this one by adding 360 degrees, which is you are going to have minus x plus 350 degrees, since this one it's a negative angle. So if I rearrange this one, I was going to have 350 minus x, so which you can consider this one as A and a B. The answer that you are going to get here will be the same with this one. Understand? So that's how you apply your compound angle if you have sine. So if I'm working with this one, cos A plus B, so cos A plus B, remember the compound angle of cos, guys, will start by saying cos. So we can identify it as cos, which is the cos the first angle, the cos the second angle. So which is going to be cos A, cos B, then cos, guys, changes the sign. If it is positive, it changes to become negative. So that's why it says negative sine A, sine B. Then if it's negative, remember this one, we have cos A minus B. So this minus will change to become positive. This is going to be cos. So cos A, cos B, then the sign must change to become positive. So this is sine A, sine B. So these are your compound angle. You must know them. We said the compound angle is an angle that is formed by adding or subtracting the two angles. Understand? And then, guys, we have what we call the double angles. So we have the double angle of sine and the cos. So the double angle of sine, guys, these are given on your formula sheet. Expect this one. Except this one. Sorry, it is not given. You have to know it. How do you manipulate, or how do you use it? So we need to know what is a double angle. So the double angle is an angle formed by adding an angle to itself. Understand? Let's say if I add 2a plus 2a, I can consider this one as my double angle because I'm adding an angle to itself. Understand? Hope you see. So the double angle of sine 2a, guys, is equals to 2 sine A cos A. Then if I have sine x cos x, okay, I can derive this one to be 1 over 2 sine 2x. Because what does it mean? If I expand this, because we said this one is this one, the double angle. So if I say sine cos x is equals to 1 over 2, then we change this one to be 2 sine x cos x. Can you see this 2 will cancel out? Now on the left hand side we have sine x cos x. So same applies on the right hand side. We still have sine x cos x. So hence I say that sine x times cos x is equal to half of sine 2x. Understand? So then we have cos 2a. Remember, these double angles can be also derived using your compound angles. You can derive this one like say a plus a, then you use this one as your compound angle. You will end up having, guys, sine a cos a. You can see, you can test it using your compound angles, guys. So then you have the double angle of cos. Cos, guys, have three personalities, which is cos squared A minus sine squared A, and then 2 cos squared A minus 1 minus 2 sine squared A. But you need to know when do you use which one you are going to use when. Understand? So in this case, guys, we have to know that if I'm given the cos to A, most of the time we are going to use this one whenever we're proving the identities. But you need to know when do you use which one you are going to use when. Understand? So in this case, guys, we have to know that if I'm given the cos to A, most of the time we are going to use this one whenever we're proving the identities and whenever we're doing the general solution. But you need to know which one I must choose. So I'm going to show you with questions how do we pick the perfect one here when we're given the questions. So we're going to start by simplifying. We're going to start with simplification, good people. So the first question that we're going to do here, we have this one. Hope it's clear. It's 3 marks, it's 5 marks. This is level 2 questions. Level 2 question. So we have, I'm not going to copy the question down. I'm not going to write the question. I'm going to start answering. So we have sine x over cos x. Can you see that, guys? Sine over cos, we said from the is a quotient identity. Sine over cos will give us tan. Okay, I can say this. I have tan x over this tan. Understand? Plus then 180 plus. Where do we find 180 plus, guys? We find 180 plus on which quadrant? Third quadrant. So then you ask yourself, if this is on third quadrant, is sine negative or positive? So sine is negative there. So which is sine x times. And then we see cos 90. 90 tells us that cos, guys, must change the name to become sine. But sine will be positive because 90 minus, we find 90 minus on which quadrant? First quadrant. All the trig ratios there are positive. So it's going to be sine x. So we work out this one. So tan divided by tan, going to give 1. So negative times a positive, going negative. Then sine times sine, we're going to get sine squared x. Right. You are done? No. Remember your square identity. If we remember our square identity, we said that sine squared plus cos squared is equals to 1. And also 1 squared, let's see. Can you see that, guys? We said that sine squared theta is equal to 1 minus cos squared, and also cos squared theta is equal to 1 minus sine squared. So we need to change this one to become cos squared x. So that's your final answer. Can you see that we need to know your identities and also your reduction whenever you're doing these simplifications. So they are going to come out whether you like it or not during your final exam and also your trial, your June exam. They are going to come out. So you need to know how to use them. So let's do number 2. Number 2, we're given cos 180 degrees plus this one. Can you see the question? Okay, I hope you can see it. So let's work it out, guys. So we are given 180 plus. This is cos, guys. You need to ask yourself, where do we find 180 degrees? We find 180 plus on which quadrant? Third quadrant. Then you ask yourself, is cos positive or negative? We know that cos there is negative. So, okay, sorry, let's write like this. I want to open the brackets. Cos x times. Then we see 360 minus. 360 minus, we find 360 minus on which quadrant? Our third quadrant. I mean fourth quadrant. Then tan is negative there. So we're going to have negative tan x times. Then Then I see the squared here, good people. If I see the squared, I will open the brackets and put the squared outside. So then you ask yourself 90 minus on which quadrant? We find 190 minus on first quadrant. All the trig ratios are positive, but I have to change sign to become cos. This is going to be cos x over 180 minus second quadrant, and the sign is positive. So this is easy now. So in negative times negative, then you will get positive cos. Then you can change tan using your quotient identity, which is sin x over cos x times, remember we're going to get here cos squared x over sine. Now you are in grade 12, good people. This one will cancel out, this one will cancel out. Now you are left with what? With cos squared as your final answer. Understand? So let's do the next one. So let's say we have, I'm not going to copy the question. You can pause the video and try to attempt on your own and see the answer that you get. So we're given this is 8 marks, guys. If I manage to change 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I already have 7 marks. That's how the trigonometry works. If you manage to change your reductions, your identities, you will get marks. So here, if I change this one, 180 minus, we find 180 minus on which quadrant? Second quadrant. Sign is what? Is positive. Then I have x minus 360. Good people, just add 360 degrees here. Even if it was saying x minus 180, just add 360 degrees. So if I add 360 degrees, this 360 will cancel this one. Then I'm left with what now? With the x. With cos x. Simple. And then I have tan 180 plus. Where do we find 180 plus? On which quadrant? Third quadrant. Tan is what? Is positive there, which is tan x. Then we see cos into a negative angle. We know that cos into a negative angle comes out positive. Over tan into a negative angle. We talked about negative angles. Tan will come out negative. So cos into 90 minus x. So 90 tells me that cos must change the name to become sine. So this is going to change to become sine. But is it going to be positive or negative? So it's going to be positive, because 90 minus, we find 90 minus on which quadrant? First quadrant. All the trig ratios, they are positive. So times sine x. Same applies with this one. The sign must change the name to become cos. But since you have multiplication throughout, this is the division. So which means this one gonna cancel this one, guys. This tan is gonna cancel this tan. This cos will cancel this cos or this cos. But we're left with one cos and this negative. So cos divided by negative 1. So the final answer is negative cos. So that's how you will get your 8 marks, guys. So when they are marking, they're gonna mark this one, 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 and your final answer. Then you will get your 8 mark. That is easy. So and see what do we have. So we are going to do this one. This is the last one, guys. On the next video, we are going to do more questions that involve numerical expressions and also exam questions, and see what we got. Okay, see what we have. Okay, right. So here, guys, we are given negative sine squared into 90 minus x minus tan x times cos minus x times sine x minus 360 degrees. So guys, this negative will not be affected by this squared because it's outside. But if I was having, let's say, a sine squared minus x like this negative was going to be affected by this squared, but now it is outside. So because I was going to say, okay, I put my square outside, then I put this one. Then you talk about this one. This will come out positive. But this one won't come out here positive because this negative is outside the squared. So if we work this out, guys, we're gonna have a minus sine. Let's put this one like this. I want you to see it. Then I put my square outside. Understand? So minus, then we have tan, we drop tan because there's nothing we want to change there first. So then we have cos into a negative angle. So the cos into a negative angle comes out positive. That's 1 mark. Wow. Maths is good. So then I have this one, minus x plus, minus x minus 360. If it's not plus, guys, it's minus. Then just add 360 degrees. This will cancel out. Then you will be left with sine, guys, into minus x. There's no mark now. We didn't change this one first. So if I come here, this is minus. I open the brackets. I put my squared outside. 90 tells me that sine must change the name to become cos. So it's going to be positive cos because 90 minus is in first quadrant. Minus. Then we can change this one because we see cos now. So if I change tan to become sine x over cos x times cos x, sine into a negative angle comes out negative. That's where you will get your first mark. 1, 2, 3, 4. You already have 4 marks. You are left with 2 marks because there's 6 marks. So these guys will cancel this one. Here we'll have minus cos squared x. So a negative times a negative, gonna get positive, guys. Then sine times sine, we have sine squared x. Are we done? No. Guys, can you see that here, this is not your square identity because you have negative as your coefficient. So, but if you were having positive here, you were going to say this is your square identity, which is equals to 1. So in this case, guys, we have to take out what is common first and see what do we have. So if I take out minus here, I'm going to have minus cos squared x. Remember, I take minus, then I have to put minus so that I can say minus times minus, then we get positive again, which is sine squared x. Right. So what do we see here now? Inside the brackets, we see the double angle of cos. So this will change to become cos 2x. Then that's your final answer. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the page and hit the notification so that you will get the notification whenever there's a new update. So thank you for watching. Enjoy.